Hello, I'm Jarrett with Suncoast Business Technologies, and these are some tips and tricks for navigating Windows 10. It's an operating system that's been out for about 3 years now, and I know that some people are still shy and sort of scared of it, and they don't want to leave Windows 7, sort of like when we couldn't get people off of Windows XP. Some of these tips may make it easier to navigate and make your experience a little bit more enjoyable. So anyways, there's a secret start menu, and the lower left-hand corner, there's the start menu. It's a Windows icon, it's a square, and if you right-click on it, there's actually a menu that pops up, and it has a bunch of options such as apps and features, power options, event viewer, system, device manager, stuff like that. There's also another option down below. It's one of the first things that you see. It says shut down or sign out, and then there's a pop-out menu that gives you the option to shut down or restart. It's a quick way to be able to restart or shut down your computer, even log off of your computer. I know that's one of the things that people tend to ask, hey, how do I reboot this thing? How do I sign out of this thing? I think I'm doing it right, but I'm not sure. Here it's very clear. Just right click on the start menu and select it there. Then there's the power options. So if your computer's going to sleep on you, it's going into, the screen's going dark when you've been away for 5 minutes, your power options is where you're going to go. And you can change how long it will stay awake, whether it be, if it's a laptop, whether it's on power, or if it's plugged in, you can set those times to be different. What else? So you can also, one of the things you can do is search for anything. There's a bar, it's called Cortana. You don't actually have to use it in that sense, but if you type anything in this bar whatsoever, it will find what you're looking for. It can be a file name, it can be a program that you can't find, you're not sure where to find. The control panel, for example, you can type that in and it'll automatically search your computer for you. It's a very nifty tool. You can also search by just clicking the start menu. Then when the menu pulls up and you're looking at all of your apps and icons here and your programs here on your left, you can just type. You don't actually have to type into any box. You can just type, I'll type control again. And there it is, automatically searches your computer for you. So that's a quick tip that's very helpful, and I feel like it's probably the best one for a newer user, because when they're trying to find a Word or Excel or PowerPoint, Outlook, anything that they're used to using, if they're not really sure where it's at, you can just type the name of it and the computer will search for you. There's also, if you do pull up the search engine here, there's also documents, apps, web. You can search a specific place if you know that you happen to be looking for a document versus a program. It'll help narrow your search results. Here is all of your apps in your start menu that sort of are already pinned to your start menu by default. You can move these around just by clicking and dragging them. You can right click on them, you can unpin them so they're not even visible. You can right click on them and resize them to be small, to be wide or large. Some of these things are live tiles. As you can see here, this calendar is a live tile. So you can turn that activity off or you can have it on. Some of the news type apps like this one right here, if we resize this to large and we turn, and if it has a live tile option, it'll usually stream current events and news and stuff. There you go, now it's loading, it says news. We could click on it, it's saying what happened. You can also group these things. If you want to take a program that you use regularly, let's find Outlook, for example. We can right click on this and we can do open file location, pin to start, pin to taskbar. Your taskbar is this section down here, which is typically where you pin your most readily accessed programs, like your internet browser, your file explorer, your email browser, maybe a few other tools that you use all the time. You can click on them down below. So if you have a program pinned on the taskbar that you don't want pinned, like I just got done pinning Outlook, you can right click and select unpin from taskbar. This little envelope looking thing on the bottom, that's also a default app. And since we tend to use Outlook in a business environment, we don't need to use this built-in Windows Mail app, so we can just unpin it. Edge is the new Explorer in Windows 10. It's the new updated app, sort of resembling Internet Explorer, but it is not Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is still installed and available on your computer, and of course you can install third-party browsers like Google Chrome and Firefox if you wanted to. What else did I want to do? Task view icon. Oh. So One thing that's pretty cool is this little icon right here. It's called Task View. You can see that popping up right there. It looks like a square surrounded by a couple of rectangles. If you're using multiple monitors or you have multiple applications open, let's say you have 5, 6, 7 programs open and you have 2, maybe 3 monitors and you're not sure where stuff is, this little task view here, if you push it, will actually pull your windows up quickly in these small little squares. And then when you find the one you want, you just select it and then it basically brings it to focus. And let's say you want to switch again, you can press it and then I can go grab Edge just like that and bring that to focus. So it's a quick way to navigate. It's a cool little tool as well. A little quick tip, right click on the taskbar, select Task Manager, and this will pop up. You'll typically see whatever programs you have running here for view. If you want to see more options, you'll see there's just more details button down below, which will actually show you like the performance of your PC, services that are running and such. One tip also that I think is important in Windows 10, the taskbar setting. You're going to right click, you're going to select taskbar settings. You're going to scroll down. If you're running multiple monitors, this section here will not be grayed out. You'll be able to display your taskbars on all of your monitors or just your main primary monitor. And what you can also do is you can choose how your icons are displayed. How I have these active icons down here, you can have these show on all monitors for all programs open. You can have it show only on the taskbar in which that program is opened. And you can have it show on the taskbar that the program is opened and on your main taskbar. So what that means is, let's say you have 10 programs open and you have all these icons at the bottom of your window and you minimize them all, for example, and now you're not sure what is open on what window, but you know you need to get to your program. You can use that task view tip that I showed you earlier, or you can look on your monitor and your taskbar will simply display what's open. So let's say you have 3 monitors and this main primary one's in the middle, and on your left it'll just show Edge and Outlook, for example, and maybe on your right monitor it'll show Google Chrome and File Explorer. So it's just a quick reference to be able to look to see where that program is. I know that when we use multiple monitors, we tend to sort of lose our own programs because we forget where we put it or where we opened it, and so we're constantly having to check all the monitors to see where it's at. So that's a quick tool also. This helps you sort of organize your view. So I find that to be a cool tip to show people. Some people say, well, I see the same stuff everywhere, and then it makes it even more difficult to find, in my opinion. An extra tip, you can right click in this bottom right hand corner and you can do show desktop or peek at desktop. There used to be an option that was more visible in Windows 7 that people felt like went away, that you could just right click and show your desktop. If you wanted to just quickly minimize everything, that's how you would do that. Down here in the lower right hand corner, you still have your clock, you have your calendar, your volume control, your network connection, whether you're on battery or power. This is a new option that they've added. I haven't really messed with this yet, but this is called People. Apparently, if you have other people using Windows 10 as well, you can sort of create groups and sort of chat amongst yourselves. Anyways, I hope that you found these tools and tips to be helpful. This is Jarrett with SBT. Have a great day.